Coming up, the Epcot Forever opening date is announced, Illuminations Reflections of Earth gets its finale date, Disney announces concept art of new technology for the Epcot Forever Firework Spectacular, and the permanent Epcot Fireworks Show coming 2020 leaves people wondering what the future holds for Epcot. My name is Brayden, and this is your breaking Mickey Views News.
All who come to this happy place, welcome.
Now I'm the king of the swingers.
That's what Epcot is, an experimental prototype community that will always be in a state of becoming.
All right, everyone, the word is out. It has been announced last night on the Disney Parks blog stream of Illuminations Reflections of Earth. They dropped a slew of new info for the show replacing Illuminations this fall, Epcot Forever, including an opening date, 4 new pieces of concept art, and even some test footage of the LED jet ski kites. You heard that right. So firstly, before this new limited time Epcot Forever show celebrating the history and theme of Epcot Center can become a reality, Illuminations has to come to a close. And Disney has just announced Illuminations will have its finale show on September 30th, 2019. That is the last date you'll be able to watch Illuminations in Epcot. Pretty surreal that this show has been around for so long is actually coming to an end. Then the very next night, Epcot Forever will premiere on October 1st, the 37th anniversary of Epcot to the day. So excited to see how this all comes to life. Thinking about Illuminations ending, it's my favorite spectacular Disney has ever done. I'm going to miss it greatly. I think the orchestral score from that show might literally be impossible to top. I mean, it was so good, Disney used Reflections of Earth and the Tapestry of Nations to make an entire Super Bowl halftime show out of. It's just some incredible stuff. Thankfully, I think we're going to still get some of that in the new Epcot Forever show, given in the brand new preview Disney just released, the background music while they were talking about the new Epcot Forever show. There's a combination playing in the background of the legacy music you hear in the Epcot entrance area, as well as the Tapestry of Nations music from, of course, the post-show of Reflections of Earth. It is a tribute to Epcot after all, and these past shows are no doubt a memorable part of that history, so hopefully we'll see some little hints to those in the new show. But more to the point, I was thinking in terms of the finale of the Illuminations show and Illuminations actually coming to a close, we've seen so many special tags onto Illuminations throughout the years. With this newly announced September 30th finale, will Disney be able to do one last send-off for this incredible show, New Year's Eve style, with a tag like that where all those fireworks go off at once perhaps? Or given how ambitious this changeover is, going from one fireworks show that's been around now 19 years to another all-new spectacular in just 24 hours time, will Disney not have the resources to do anything extra with that final Illuminations show? Either way, Illuminations will be missed. It always needed some updates visually, but in terms of the overall message and feeling watching that show, it is just unbelievable and has definitely earned an eternal spot in the hearts and minds of Disney fans around the world. But in the true spirit of Epcot, looking towards the future, we have this brand new limited time show, Epcot Forever, premiering October 1st. In the brand new preview Disney dropped, Disney teases a few of the tributes that we'll be seeing during the show itself, including sections for Journey into Imagination, Kitchen Cabaret, and Soarin' Around the World. That's expanding on more we've known about for quite some time, including Making Memories, and of course a section for Horizons. I assume they have to have that. Horizons, of course, is so iconic and one of those things people still talk about to this day in terms of the Epcot stuff that this show is a tribute to. The big new sneak peek we got today was the new special effect kites, Disney's calling them, for the new show, where there'll be people on jet skis out on the water flying kites behind them, which are more than just regular kites. They actually have these beautiful LEDs on them, and they're also flying in a row of 5, as you can see here, over the lagoon, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of these. It was really great to see this confirmed because we actually first teased this and broke it last year, I believe, where we talked about how there was going to be an LED jet ski kite element to the show, and we were relating it to something Disney did in the past, or during a daytime show on the lagoon, where they did something similar with stationary kites. Now they're adding the jet ski element and the nighttime element to it all. And of course, we broke the news of this show itself, the Epcot Forever show, like a month before Disney confirmed it or anyone else was even talking about it. And some of the insiders out there were saying, it had been canceled and things like that. So make sure you're subscribed subscribed because we're going to be breaking some more exclusive stories this year you're not going to want to miss. Taking a look at the new pieces of concept art for the show, here you can see the LED kites in the night sky. Incredible stuff. You can see what I was talking about where there's going to be multiple of them and they're going to be all over the place. It looks to me like this is going to be a separate segment from the fireworks segment. So there's going to be firework sections and then also stuff like this. So sort of think of it like the globe during Illuminations. Definitely a cool idea, and I suspect it'll be a lot shorter than what you had where the globe is just out there spinning and a lot of people can't really see what was happening on it like you had with Illuminations. I think this is going to be a lot more engaging with everything moving around the entire lagoon and so many kites, and then of course back to the fireworks once the jet skis are out of the way. Speaking of fireworks, we also got this image of what looks to me to be multicolor fireworks going off right on the barges themselves. We already have something like this with Illuminations, but they aren't colored like these, so it's sort of like a wishes to happily ever after evolution we're seeing here, where we saw the fireworks just become so much more advanced in the Magic Kingdom. It looks like we'll be seeing that same evolution of firework technology now with the Epcot Spectaculars too. We've also got this new piece of art here with more squiggly fireworks, I would say, and also some green lasers you can spot coming off from the side. It looks like that's China or the outpost over there. That's where those lasers are coming from. And lastly, we have this new art illustrating those beautiful massive fireworks over the lagoon. Notice all the spotlights in these pieces of art. Disney's really been implementing these spotlights more and more in these new shows, and they are simply awesome. Just imagine those spotlights you have for Happily Ever After or the Hollywood Studios fireworks, but have them 360 all the way around the World Showcase Lagoon, or instead of those just being in a line, you know, next to Cinderella Castle and pointing towards it. That already looks cool enough, but here, those same spotlights could be coming from behind you, all around you at the same time as you're seeing them 360 all the way around the World Showcase Lagoon. Just imagine what Disney can do there. Let me know what you guys think about all this Epcot Spectacular news. Really excited for Epcot Forever, but you gotta go quick. See Illuminations again before it's gone. See Epcot Forever as well before it's gone. I can't believe I'm saying that when it hasn't even opened yet, but seriously, keep in mind, this show will not be around for long. I'm still hearing around summer 2020, fall 2020 at the latest, we'll be getting Project KAPPA, the permanent new Epcot Nighttime Spectacular Disney teased at the last D23 event, replacing Epcot Forever. That'll only be like 10 months to a year old when it's going to be replaced. Project KAPPA, in my opinion, is the worst thing Disney has announced so far as part of the Epcot overhaul. Obviously, we aren't anywhere close to seeing the whole show, so we should reserve judgment and all of that. I'm not making any final judgments about a show I haven't seen yet, of course, but we cover the news here, so as the news evolves and we get new details, our opinions can evolve as well. So far, from what Disney showed at the Destination D event, it looks to me like it'll be a show whose sole purpose will be about trying to boost attendance by using the inclusion of Disney movie characters as a marketing angle to new prospective customers. Look, we have a new show in Walt Disney World with Moana in it. Oh, and we don't mean Happily Ever After, where she actually fits and does a great job and there's awesome music. No, this intellectual property show is going to be in the middle of Epcot of all places. And all the while they're trying to draw in new guests with that, it looks to me like they're trying to pass it off to the Disney parks fans as some tribute to the real life cultures of the world, tying in with the theme of the park with the World Showcase. If Disney seriously thinks that Elsa is more representative of real-life cultures than making a show celebrating the real-life people of the world who literally are these cultures like Illuminations did, then we're in serious trouble. It looks to me like in an attempt to shoehorn characters that don't belong into Epcot as a short-term oriented measure to boost attendance, Disney is taking a real-life culture, using it as inspiration for an animated movie or character, which is awesome by the way, but then taking that material inspired by something real and repackaging it as if it is the real-life culture itself. And if you think I'm being overly critical, tell me that's not what Disney has already done with the Norway Pavilion. Inspired by the architecture of the real-life culture of that nation, they made a hugely popular film, then proceeded to replace an attraction about what Frozen was based on and replaced it with Frozen itself, which is not the real-life culture of Norway. It's an amalgamation of pieces of inspiration, as all creative works are, and belongs in the Magic Kingdom. And I guess the most aggravating thing to me is, even if someone from Disney right now was considering my argument about intellectual properties not working with the theme of Epcot, the fact that the inclusion of these characters will not help the park attendance short-term or long-term, because the lack of cohesion in Epcot is what is actually keeping it from growing, and this new fireworks show will only continue to exacerbate this problem. Even if they heard all of that, it wouldn't matter, because the project is already so far along, and everything we're seeing with Illuminations ending and Epcot Forever, it's all predicated on making time to implement new technology, all for the sake of this intellectual intellectual property tie-in show. I guess on the bright side, right now my expectations are so low with Project KAPPA. What Disney does with it is probably going to be very impressive. Who knows, we might even get drones finally with that show. There's going to be floating screens out in the water, which I think sounds awesome. And hey, maybe if the IP show doesn't work out, all that can be retooled into something that really actually lives up to the theme of Epcot, but can utilize all the technology Disney is developing and implementing here. We will see. Also in Epcot this week, over at the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction, we have some quick news. Firstly, we're getting a lot of reports that track is finally being assembled inside the building. There's a curved track outside at the start of the launch into the external ride building that has been there for many, many months, and a lot of you viewers send in photos to me, so thank you so much for sending in photos of those. But that track has been there a very long time, because if you look at the way the launch tunnel is built, I don't think that they could bring in that curved track later like they can with the stuff inside the building where they have tons of space to bring in a crane and all sorts of stuff on the interior of that building. They couldn't really do that on that sloped section where that curved track is going upwards, so they built that in as they were building the launch tunnel itself. But now on top of that, it looks like the track is actually coming together inside the external ride building. Very excited to see work getting along there. I wish we could see it, but it's sort of covered up by the sky blue and the go away green panels there. More interesting to me is the permit Disney has filed for a massive projection dome inside the Guardians ride building. We already know this ride will be having some state-of-the-art rotating ride cars, so during the coaster you'll turn sideways to be immersed fully in the screens and scenes from Guardians of the Galaxy. But based on the permit here, now I'm almost imagining, since we've heard there'll be very few, if any, physical practical sets inside the attraction, maybe the concept here is to have a coaster inside of a giant OmniMax screen like Horizons had, where you had this huge IMAX projection dome 3 stories tall, and you were quite literally in the projection itself. I think we might be seeing that concept being brought back to Epcot, looking here with Guardians. We don't really know the timetable yet with the Guardians coaster, and here's why. It seems to me Disney has been doing a great job putting the building together, getting the ride built, but we just talked about the massive projection digital media aspect of this attraction. Disney actually has to film all that content that will go on those massive projection screens. There might even be multiple of them on the attraction, very likely actually. To film all the parts with the Guardians characters and to save money, I suspect Disney will film that content alongside the production of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So there might be some film production aspects here we don't usually see, affecting the timetables of attraction openings, interfering with the timetable here. While if you look over at Ratatouille and then you look at Guardians, they're basically around the same spot in terms of construction progress. They both seem to be coming along really nicely. The difference is the Ratatouille attraction we're expecting next year, whereas we don't really know when the Guardians coaster is going to open. I think 2021, but some people, some cast members have been saying 2022, and that is also a possibility. I do think Disney will get it open sooner rather than later, but given all that stuff needs to be filmed for the attraction itself, and then you have to do all the programming with the ride cars and everything, it's likely going to be a long progress. And I'm also thinking of it a little bit like the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, where we have a brand new ride system here that's never been done before that Disney will have to test out and do a lot of different experiments with to really perfect it. I'm really excited to see Disney do some actual groundbreaking stuff here with a brand new ride system. Even though I don't think that Guardians should go in Epcot, I'm really excited to see Disney push the boundaries in ways like this. On top of Galaxy's Edge, which is as boundary breaking as can possibly be, we're seeing Disney do ambitious stuff like this instead of getting something out instantly. So sometimes I do harp on Disney looking at things in a little too much in the short term. If you look at things like this, I do think that there is an actual long-term interest in making an excellent attraction that really progresses the quality of attractions Disney offers in the parks. Lots to consider here. Last up in Epcot this week, we've got the full dates Disney has unveiled for the Food and Wine Festival as well as the Festival of the Holidays for this year. First up, the 2019 Epcot International Food and Wine Festival will run from August 29th to November 23rd, 2019, the longest ever, coming in at a record 87 days of food and wine. Pretty soon we're just gonna have festivals year-round in Epcot, it seems like. And then with Festival of the Holidays this year, it'll run from November 29th, just after Thanksgiving, to December 30th, 2019, just after Christmas there. Actually 11 days shorter than last year's, interestingly enough. Let me know what you guys think about those record-setting Food and Wine Festival dates. That's the latest news in the world of Disney. Be sure to subscribe with the notification bell on so you never miss any news. We've got some awesome t-shirts for sale starting at under $20, including this brand new The Future Returns shirt celebrating the return of the iconic Epcot fountain. I said Project KAPPA is the worst Epcot overhaul announcement so far. I think I have to say this Epcot fountain is the best because it means we are getting the Epcot Center entrance back, and it looks like we'll also be getting the Epcot logos back as well, which is so exciting and definitely a step in the right direction. We've also got our bestseller Eat, Sleep, WW shirts. You can find all those, link in the description below. You can also find us on Patreon and check out all the cool reward tiers there, like being one of the executive producers listed in the credits of all of these videos. And I've also got our PayPal in the description if you just want to do a one-time donation and send me a couple bucks. Impromptu Imagineering isn't cheap. Look at this dolly tripod jib techno crane I built on Monday. That was pretty wild. I built that out in the Impromptu Imagineering studio. It took a while. I'm pretty excited by how it turned out and some of the test filming I already did with it. That's all for this episode of Mickey Views News. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Brayden. Have a magical day.